After having used HD0 goggles for a couple of months now, I wanted to go over a few things that I like and don't like about them. Then, Kelly will give us his first impressions flying with the goggles. And don't forget, Kelly is a self-proclaimed DJI Fanboy, and these were not sent to us for free or for any sort of discount or anything like that. So this should be interesting. Starting off with the good, in the box it comes with two faceplates. One is slightly more curved than the other, so you can make your choice depending on which is more comfortable to you. It comes with the battery cable, which is an XT60 to a barrel connector. I use a 4S battery, but I believe it can handle up to 6S. The bag that they provide is pretty well made. However, I did get this third-party case, which protects the goggles a little bit more. Now, the goggles themselves were not cheap, and they don't feel cheaply made, so that's a good thing. They provide a lot of options for connectivity, including mini HDMI in and out, and the diopter adjustments go from +5 to -5, and of course the IPD can be adjusted as well. When connecting a battery, the goggles do not instantly turn on. There is a power switch, which is kind of convenient. I've never had a set of goggles with a power switch before. And the goggle strap that it comes with is a kind of a fat strap style, and since the goggles are pretty lightweight, it doesn't really need anything more than this. While these are quite expensive goggles, not only can you fly HD0, but you can potentially also fly analog and walk snail by attaching their respective receivers. I actually did purchase the analog expansion module and attached my rapid fire receiver to it, and I got a better picture quality and overall a nicer analog experience than I did with my Fat Shark goggles. One other feature that actually I didn't expect to find useful was the built-in internal mic. Of course, the quality of the mic is not great, and you've got the background noise of the fan going on, but if you did want to make a note of something while you're flying, it's kind of a handy feature. As far as comfort level goes, the foam on the goggles feels really nice. It's slightly firm, but gives plenty of padding. However, let's start by going down our list of negatives. The foam on the bridge of the nose is quite thin, and it does not provide any padding against the sharp edge of this Velcro type adhesive that was put on the plate before attaching the foam, unless I bring this down and then carefully put the goggles on. Another thing I just noticed, the backing of the foam just became disconnected to the actual adhesive on the back of the foam, which sticks to the Velcro. So now I'm seeing that the durability of the foam is quite poor and the comfort level is lacking just because of how thin the foam is around the bridge of the nose. The next thing I noticed was that this dial pad is quite sensitive. Just by putting the goggles on, your finger might hit the dial as you're adjusting them and another channel is selected. Now the actual frequency doesn't change, it just selects a different channel. Granted, that is a minor complaint. If you do change the diopter or IPD settings, there's no way to lock that in. So you might find you have to readjust them every time you put the goggles on or take them off if you've accidentally bumped them. Another thing that's worth mentioning is that since we shouldn't expose the lenses to the sunlight, having a 3D printed cover for the lenses to protect them would be nice, but HD0 does not provide that in the box. Also, antennas are not provided, which sort of makes sense, but at the same time, other goggles come with antennas. I did buy what I believe to be the best patch antennas, and then I got a couple of Omni circular polarized antennas. I know these X2 Air antennas are not made by HD0, but I did want to mention that if you are buying these, the 3D printed mount that it comes with does fit nicely into the rails of the goggles. However, the cable has to bend quite a bit once you get them screwed in properly. I should mention that the adhesive on the back of these antennas is quite good, but when I am constantly putting the goggles in and out of a bag or a case, it does put stress on the antennas and the adhesive is starting to wear off, and I might have to figure out something stronger. And one last kind of complaint about these goggles is that it cannot record the menu system internally. You'd have to plug into the HDMI out and then record externally somehow. Now again, I do realize that's a minor complaint and kind of a niche feature, but DJI's goggles too do have the ability to record the menu system, so I thought I'd mention it. Why don't we now go and see what Kelly's first impressions are of these goggles.
All right, well, it says scan now. Okay, there we go. Now I see it. Well, that image is pretty good. It's very saturated with color. All right, here we go. So, well, this is better than I expected, honestly. I'm across the field going, okay, I'm getting a little breakup as I go over the fence, but now I'm back over on the football field, going around the light pole. Okay, I'm definitely getting some breakup now because of the trees probably on the other side. But it's interesting because the breakup is just like snow, and it doesn't actually stop the signal. It's not hesitating at all. It doesn't seem to be any hesitation. So if I stay line of sight across the field, like I'm going to go over to the Red Devil. This is a much better experience with HD 0 than before. Now, of course, before we didn't have these nice goggles, right?
Right.
So, it's not digital. You know, it's definitely got a lot more little pixelation in it, but I'm fairly impressed with it. Whoa, lots of breakup going through the scoreboard.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop. That's cool. Like I was doing the same thing with DJI, like my DJI one over there, and it would just like
It freezes. Yeah, this one has zero, like very low latency. That's kind of the draw.
The selling point for it.
Like it's good for racers
Oh,
who
I
want
gotcha.
a clear picture but without the lag.
Yeah. No, so Kris and I had a Emax drone, or this drone, right?
Yeah.
With the Emax goggles, and it was quite bad. Like it was really.
I think we're used to flying digital.
But
and
this is so much better than the other one was. I mean, you said you invested in some fancy antennas, which seem to make a difference. And would I rather fly this or O3? I'd rather fly O3 or DJI Air Unit or Vista Unit. But this was surprisingly good for me.
So far, I have not had any major problems with these goggles, aside from the previous firmware and analog not really working properly. But now with the latest firmware as of August 2023, I'm happy with that part of the firmware and haven't noticed any other issues. But we'll keep on testing and flying with these, and I'm hoping also to find some alternative foam, maybe Sky Zone goggles foam, but this is falling apart right now, so I have to do something about it. In the meantime, let us know what you think. If you have a suggestion or a tip, please leave those in the comments below. Thanks for watching Ready Set Drone.